Okay, recording is in progress. And then the replay will be available for everyone else to watch. So super excited about that. So feel free to pop in the chat, whatever you have questions, whenever you need clarification about anything that I talk about here. I do have the chat open. I'm pretty good at managing it while also talking, so don't feel like you're, interjecting me. I would rather this be like a two-way conversation as much as possible. All right. So over the past, I don't know why I said 2 days, over the past week, throughout the whole kind of training, we've talked about the power of email marketing, how it can bring you dependable orders coming in, and how you can easily write engaging emails. But there's still one hurdle left, and this is kind of the biggest hurdle, I would say, for my clients, which is actually implementing, and not just implementing, but staying on track, keeping consistent. So we're going to talk about that a little bit today because the foundation of email marketing truly is consistency. It's the difference between what makes sales easy versus hard through your email marketing channel. It's the difference between a quick sales or a slow drip, or consistent sales or a slow drip. But it is also the hardest thing, especially for business owners to do as you are managing your own companies and doing all of the marketing. So it's quite understandable, but we want to make it easy. We want to make it doable for you all just because of the results that you can have if you can stay consistent. Um, Let me know if any of this resonates or if there's something else that, you know, I don't know if it scares you or makes you hesitant to email, um, or you think that would come in the way of you being able to create emails. But this is kind of what I hear whenever I hop on like discovery calls with new clients and things like that. They're like, I don't have time to learn something new. My schedule is packed. Adding emails feels impossible. I'm already juggling a lot. How do I make this easy for myself? Yeah, it's typically what I find whenever people come to me looking for help with emails. Um, but my goal for you is not adding more to your plate, but fitting emails into the marketing that you are already doing. And even if the marketing that you're already doing feels sporadic and last minute, is there a way that we can really streamline this so that you're not up at like 10 p.m. at night, like, I don't know, creating Instagram posts or writing emails, or you're not doing it last minute? So it's really a hope that if we can, use email marketing as like the foundation, use your emails as the foundation for your marketing, and then repurpose your content based off of that. I just wanted to throw this in here too because I'm kind of focusing on two channels here in this training. I'm focusing obviously on emails and I'm also focusing on Instagram, right? The rule of thumb is if you are your own business owner and you're doing everything yourself, until you have someone to help, it is recommended to choose two, maybe three marketing platforms to focus on. That just is doable for more people, right? Or for one person. That's what I do in my own business. I focus on really two platforms. Of course, anytime I post on Instagram, it's also posting on Facebook. I kind of dabble on TikTok, but really it just feels like a waste of time. I really do just focus on two platforms until I can get more help, someone else to maybe repurpose my content into other platforms. So if you're going to focus on two platforms, you want it to be one platform to be in acquisition, which is getting in front of new faces, bringing new people into your sphere, right? We have some people flowing in. Hi, Melinda. Hi, Alicia. I always say Alicia or Alicia wrong. So let me know how to pronounce that. Um, we just kind of went through, what the point is here today to make it manageable for you guys to do your marketing. How do we do marketing quickly? How do we make it easy for ourselves as business owners juggling all the things, right? So you really want to focus on two channels. One channel, you want to be your acquisition channel. Again, something that gets you in front of new faces. So that could be Pinterest, that could be Instagram, that could be Facebook, that could be TikTok, right? That could be YouTube, right? All of these are opportunities for you, for new people to come into your world and see that you are existing, okay, and that you have services to offer. Then you want to have a sales channel, right? And a lot of people do use their TikTok, their YouTube, their Instagram, all of that for sales, which they absolutely can bring in sales, but that's not really their number one I guess thing that they do for businesses. The number one things those channels do is put you in front of new eyes. Second, I would say is probably nurture then the people in your audience. And third, then I would say is get a sale. So the reason I like to focus on email marketing through sales, and which you guys, if you've watched the other trainings, is just because it's a really reliable channel for people to see that you have something to sell. So we're not on an algorithm. We're not basing anything on randomness. We're not getting our posts to only a couple percentages of our audience. Email marketing allows us to deliver the messages to 99% of our audience, and then they decide whether or not they want to open to them. So that's why I like, advising my small business owners to focus on two channels, one of them being acquisition and one of them being a channel that's really, really, really good at sales. Okay. So it is an email marketing versus social media. A robust marketing system includes both. We need new people coming into our world in order to sell to them. And it is a system, it is an ongoing thing that needs to be happening. That's how we keep things fresh. That's how we get new sales from new leads. But we also need to be focusing on our returning customers, which are going to be our easiest sales, right? And we can do that through email marketing. So socials, acquiring new leads, emails, making the sale. So my whole thing is let's really focus on making the sale. It takes a little bit of a mindset switch because I know like all of us, whenever we're maybe working in our workshop or, doing, working in our business, I don't know if I'm like you guys, I get a download where I'm like, oh, that's a good reel, or I should post that on Instagram. And then immediately I'm like, no, that's a good email. I need to write an email. That's where the sales go down. So I need to write an email and then I can make it into an Instagram post and then I can make it into a reel. So even I kind of struggle with that little bit of mindset shift. Obviously, I'm a lot better at it. Obviously, I prioritize my emails because my emails do bring in the most sales for me. So I think if you're not there yet, it could be a little bit of a mindset shift to be like, no, the first thing I need to prioritize is get an email out this week, and then let's make our content from it. How do we speed up this process even more? It's called repurposing. And even nowadays, using AI to do it. So that is what we're going to do today, repurposing using AI. All right. Let's write an email. I have a couple people joining me from Instagram. I did go Instagram live. They can't see what you guys can see. But they can sign up to get the replay if they want. Okay, so we are going to write an email. I want to write an email. Oh, geez, dear Lord, help me. All right, using the TPT method. So my template, prompt, and timer method. Okay, so I'm going to head over to my email marketing and my content calendar. Yes, I have an email marketing content calendar that I swear by. This is part of my email planning bundle. And as you can see, I plan out not even just my emails, I plan out all of my marketing. At least I try to. When I'm in launch mode, I do. I wouldn't say that I do this all of the time, right? So, but I do have kind of an idea. Okay, like I'm going to do an email on this day and I'm going to do it about this. Basically, in warming my audience or thinking about what it is I'm going to start selling in the next week, in the next month, right? So, right now, this is where I'm at. I'm about to open the cart to my new course. Okay, so I have emails planned for all of those days. And then I'll go back to having a weekly email. Okay. And my weekly email, when I start back up on the week of 12/2, I'm going to take a little break on the week of Black Friday, just because this is my Black Friday offer, my course. And the inboxes are going to be flooded and crazy that next week. So, I don't know. I'm personally just gonna take a break. Okay. But then after that, I'm gonna get right back on the horse and saddle, and I'm going to start warming my audience for what I have coming up. So the next event or the next thing that I'm probably gonna sell is my Grow Your List boot camp. So that's the next thing that I'm coming up. So I'm like, great. I have a podcast episode that I literally just came out with with Clara, who is my podcast co-host, called that is all about growing your email list. So I'm going to use my podcast as an email, obviously to promote my podcast, but also in the background, I know that this is going to start warming up my list for what I have to come down the road. Okay, so strategy. But okay, so I have it here, how to grow your email list as a small business owner. Great. I'll need this link. I'm going to take this link. I'll probably put it somewhere where I can maybe keep it. Let's just go to Google Docs or whatever. Keep it on hand. All right. Let me go back here. Okay, so 12/6. Great. All right. So really just the point of this email, the goal of this email is to get people to go check out the podcast episode, right? So using the TPT method, right? This is inside my Klaviyo account. I have templates. So grow your list podcast episode. This is going to be for what? What did I say? 1/5? No, maybe the week out. Yeah, it was 1/5. Okay. Continue. All right. Whatever, newsletter. I have two lists, really. Um, it's called Launch Accelerator. Okay. So you guys see, I have a very small list, but because I email them consistently, it's a fruitful list for me. Okay, so I'm using a template. I got this template, boom, right there. Hey there, body. See you. All right, cool. It's all set and ready to go. Okay, now the first thing that I always do, or like I always know when I'm about to write an email, is how do I make my audience care? Like, how do I get my audience's attention and for them to stay in the email and to want to read it? So, the first line for me is always like, okay, I got to connect with them on a reason for them to listen to this episode. So, if I'm thinking about my ideal customer or my ideal client, okay, the reason that they would want to listen to this episode, well, what does growing the list get them? Okay. I can focus on something that they desire, or I can focus on something that is a challenge for them, right? I know that growing the email list can be challenging, right? So I could start with something that connects with their challenge, that it's really hard to grow email lists. But on the other side of that, too, what does growing your email list do? Well, for me, the first thing I think of is like easier sales, right? Obviously, we can have big lists that maybe don't bring in a lot of sales, but bigger lists genuinely make it easy to have sales because just have a pool of more people that could possibly buy from you. It's just a numbers game. Okay. So I think I'm going to go with that edge to be like, all right, like you want to make easy sales and like you don't want to have to learn too much about copywriting. Maybe you're not the best designer, for emails as small business owners. Like we got to do all the things and be all the things. And sometimes that can get super overwhelming. We just want a way that we can just make it easy for ourselves and make it even easier to make sales through our emails. So I think I'm going to connect with them on that. I hope everybody's following me here. Okay. So I'll put, hey there. Um, this isn't going to be like the best thing I've ever written in my life, but I'm going to give it a go. Okay. So, hey there. Um, making making more money through emails could be much easier than you think. So what I'm also doing here is creating what they call in copywriting an open loop. Okay, so I'm saying making more money through emails could be much easier than you think. It automatically makes the person say, okay, how? Right? So it could keep them reading. This is a copywriting tactic. I'm also putting the ellipses here to be like dot, dot, dot. And then I'm doing a line break. All right. Okay, now I'm going to connect with them on the possible challenges that they are facing. As a small business owner, you may feel pressure to learn all the things. Maybe this is the best way to say that, but of course, this is a first draft, right? You may feel the pressure to learn all the things when first starting with email. Then I'm going to do a bullet list. What are those things? You got to learn copywriting. Maybe you need to know about design, right? And of course, their strategy. But what if I told you there was a way to make more money with emails and you don't have to learn all those things? That you could truly get away with B minus or even C plus work and still have those orders rolling in when you hit send. Doesn't that sound nice? How might we make this happen for you? Oh no, or I could say, how could this be your reality for 2025? Focus on growing your email list. Okay. And then, of course, I'm going to link this to the podcast right here because I'm talking about it. I'm mentioning it. Okay. That's the first CTA. Boom. All right. This is a little bit further down the email than I like my first CTA to be. I like to have a CTA to kind of be up here for those people that might open the email and depending on where they're viewing it from, like, yeah, okay, if I look at mobile, there's no link in this first, they would have to scroll to see it. So I don't like that. So I definitely want a link here. Um, could be, okay, I'll just link much easier than you think. Because this is how growing your list. Okay. I don't think too much about this stuff, right? I just make decisions and go. There is no wrong decision in emails. There's only you try something and then you see if it works. All right. So, as a small business owner, you may feel the pressure to learn all the things when first starting with email. Okay. Focus on growing your email list. I also want to kind of talk about like in the podcast isn't just about growing your list, but it's about growing your list with quality leads because that also matters. You can't just buy lists of people and expect for them to buy from you. No, like you want the people coming onto your list to be your ideal clients or your ideal customers. That's going to be the easiest way to get sales as well. So I want to mention that. I don't want them to just think, oh, I just grow my list and that's it. No, you have to grow your list with leads who are a good fit for whatever you are selling. The catch, so I'll put that. The catch, you got to grow your list with quality leads who are most likely to buy from you. All right, so how could this be a reality for 2025? Focus on growing your email list. The catch, you got to grow your list with quality leads who are most likely to buy from you. Okay, how do you do that? Clara and I just dropped a new episode of our podcast talking all about it. Click here to listen now and get all the details on how you can, again, going to make it easier for people to skim, say double your list in 2025, attract hot leads who are ready to buy, and make sales through emails easiest thing to do. I don't know, something like that. Okay. Enjoy. And that's it. Boom. Enjoy. P.S. And then I'm just going to wrap up kind of what I said. Data shows that people do read the PS more than anything else in an email. So it's just a good place in the email to just kind of say what you set up here in case that they don't read it, right? PS. Um, make easy money with emails by growing your list full of quality leads. Interested to know how? Click here to listen to my brand new podcast episode, giving you all the details. Okay, and there it is, right? So I just have to do one more. I don't know why I said that. So I just have to do click here to listen now. Okay, so I just have to link that, right? Apply. Okay, and there it is. There's my email. Okay. Short, sweet, simple. Doesn't have to be anything more than that, y'all. Um, again, the number one rule is connect on like why your subscribers should care about this. If you could do that and keep that in the forefront of your mind with all of your emails, they are going to perform well for you. I always say people are inherently selfish, not in a bad way. Okay. We just don't have a lot of time. And we really want the emails in our inboxes to be helpful. We don't want to feel like you're spamming us. We don't want to feel like we're just being sold to all the time. So we can sell all the time through our emails, but there's just a strategic way to do it so that people feel like, I want to buy this thing or I want to learn listen to this podcast episode. Hopefully I convinced them as to why they would want to listen to this podcast episode. That's just the only thing that I'm here to do is to educate them, educate you on why you would want to listen to this podcast episode and then you decide whether or not that's what you want to do. Okay? But it's my job to give you all of the information on why you'd want to do that because you may not know, you may not realize, that emails could be you could get a lot easier sales through emails through this, right? So do I have any questions for anybody that is on as I wrote this email? Um, how long did that take me? I should have timed myself to be like, did it take me 10 minutes?
I'm not sure, but it seemed fast.
Cool. Yes.
Faster than I,
Um,
I would have been able to.
practice makes better. Practice makes better,
That's what
right?
they say.
You're like, I'm not buying it. I've been practicing. I think too, like the more that you write emails, which is probably like obviously an advantage that I had. Y'all know I'm writing like so many emails every day, right?
Mhm.
So to me, they're not like I don't put them on a pedestal. They're not that big of a deal. Like I just, get them out the door because I also am in a lot of email accounts where like I'll work on an email for hours and then like it won't do that well. Whereas I'll work on an email for 10 minutes and then it'll do super well, you know? So I know that part of it is too, especially if I'm starting to really learn how to do emails or I'm maybe with a new client or a new audience, I'm figuring out what they like and what they don't like. And the only way that we figure out what people like and what they don't like is if we just send emails and then notice, did it do well or did it not? And that's it, and file it away. Um, okay, so now that we have this, there's the email, right? So I'm going to copy this now. And now what we're going to do, let's go back to,
Can I ask a quick question before you
yeah,
move forward? Would you use that type of a copy strategy in um, a more nurturing type of an email? Are they kind of similar, like nurture, sale?
yeah, I would even call this like a nurture email, right?
Mm,
Because I'm not selling anything. I'm trying to teach people something.
okay.
Personally, but I see what you mean. Like if I'm not, are you saying if I'm not linking anything, if I'm not like telling
Um,
them to
yeah, I
do
guess that's the
something?
other question. Like, are you always going to be linking something in
I
your emails?
don't.
Not always. Okay.
No, I don't. It really depends on like the goal of that email for me. Sometimes I just send emails just because I want to educate you all on something, and I don't care
Mm,
if you go to my website.
mm,
Um, but I would have the same type of format. And yes, I would use the same type of copywriting techniques to where I am talking about. So this is kind of along the lines of what they would call like an AIDA, AIDA copywriting framework or a PAS copywriting framework, but I didn't use a problem. PAS is problem, agitate, solution. So I guess I more so used AIDA, which is attention, interest, desire, action. So I got your attention. So
mm,
that's the first thing I want to do is get your attention. Then I wanted to create interest by going deeper into what I use to make your attention. And then hopefully I got you to, have some desire by saying, okay, this could be your reality by focusing on your email list. And then for
mhm.
you to take action. So yeah,
Cool.
absolutely. Same
Thank
type
you.
of framework you can use for anything.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a bunch of copywriting frameworks out there. If you ever wanted to throw into ChatGPT and be like, give me like 10 different copywriting frameworks and examples of them, and then you can start to see how, expert copywriters, it really is just kind of like a step-by-step thing, a strategy inside the email. So, okay. What did I have here? Oh, okay. I was going to give you all this. Okay, so copy of email template. All right. So, I was supposed to follow this. Okay, to what you asked, Ivy. I did make a template for this to give you all of what I was gonna do with this or like a copywriting technique. So yeah, email body. Start with a statistic, a trend, or common issues your audience is facing that your podcast episode addresses. Aim to create urgency or curiosity here. Deepen the pain point, explain why this issue is essential for them to address, then obviously introduce it. and then close with a friendly invitation to listen. So this is for you all. Let me copy link address. Oh, I don't know if that'll work. You know what? I'm just going to do it this way. Share. Anyone with a link, copy link. And then I have to change it like this so that you can make a copy. Okay. So if you want that, you can use it. All right. And then I didn't really go over this, but for the subject line, I always write the subject line last because the subject line is kind of like the most important part of your email because if it doesn't get open, then what is the point of the email, right? So, um, you know, my subject line could literally be make more money, make easy money with emails by doing this or something like that. That's probably what I'd make it, something like that. Okay, moving on. What do I have here? Let's go over. Okay, now let's repurpose this email into 3 posts. Okay, so we're going to use a mixture of ChatGPT and Canva AI to do all of the work for me. Okay, so I definitely made this prompt. So I have a piece of content, insert content here. Could you create social media carousel posts from it with each slide containing just a heading and a short caption in my brand voice and tone? Okay, so, and the reason I positioned it like that was because that's how I make my social media carousels. They always kind of have like I made this one for the launch, right? They always kind of have uh like a headline. Well, this one's not a good one. Shoot. Of course, any of these are not too good. Anyway, okay, I'll show you guys my testimonials one, which isn't really a good one. But they always have like a headline and then they always have like some body text, right? So headline, then like a caption or body text. So that is what I told ChatGPT to make me, right? So actually I have it here. I'm just going to do this part because I kind of want to do it step by step. Okay, so I have a piece of content, so this is where I need to actually put my content. So I'm going to do in quotations. Then I'm going to go over here. I already copied this, but let's copy it. Great. Okay. And this is the chat that I use for like all of my marketing. I just name it like my name. So it has I've been working in it daily for months. So it has a good idea of what my brand voice is. It knows who my ideal client is. I have trained it. That's why I gave you guys that prompt for like train your chat GPT. Okay. So there I inserted it. Then it's going to say low power mode. I have people asking on here. My email system tells me who has been inactive for that. Should I keep sending them my newsletter? No, I would exclude them. I send an email once a week. Yeah, I would exclude them, and after 6 months, I would give them the boot off the email list if they've been inactive for a while. Okay, could you create social media paraphrase from it with each slide containing just a heading and short caption in my brand voice? All right. And I'm going to say, could you create 5 social media carousel posts? You could say 3. Typically I do 3 in a week, but I'm going to say 5 because what if I don't like some of them, right? So I like to have some variety and just to kind of see what it comes up with. Okay, carousel post 1. Why email doesn't have to be perfect. Think email marketing has to be perfect. Many small business owners feel like they need to master design. Here's the truth. You can make money. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. I'll take this. The email marketing catch. Okay, I would not call it that, but whatever. But here, it's really all about what they have on the slides. Want to make easy sales with emails? You don't need perfect emails. You need the right leads on your list. I probably wouldn't say that. I would probably kind of keep it a little bit mysterious for people to swipe over. But again, we'll worry about really editing these when we get them into Canva. Okay. So why growing your email list matters. Emails can be your easiest sales channel. Here's the secret to sales success. These are all fine. I could totally put all of these as a carousel post. I can make a reel from some of these, right? Reels we can't really do ahead of time. We could, but I'm not doing that this at the end of the day. I'm just more concerned about having consistent marketing coming out through my channels. And this, what we're doing here is making sure that at the baseline, I'm connecting with my audience on a weekly basis, both on the both channels that I am marketing on and just consistently showing up there. What did I say about the number one rule of email marketing is consistency? It's the same across any marketing channel that you are on. It's really just all about consistently showing up. Um, yeah, you're welcome. Okay, so these are all fine. I can edit these, right? They don't have to be perfect. I just love that ChatGPT came up with the ideas. So I'm going to go ahead and now this is what I'm going to tell it to do for me. Okay. After that, please create a CSV file for each post with row number one as the heading text and row number two as the short caption text. Okay. So yeah, look, it said, let me know if you'd like CSV files for this post because it knows where I'm going. You silly ChatGPT, my good marketing assistant, you are. Okay, it's going to take it a hot second to create a CSV file for each post, but there's a reason I'm doing this because, of course, I could just go in here, okay? Now, in my Canva, same rule for TPT, templates, right? I have a folder called Instagram content for me, and honestly, I have just kind of like 5 or 6 email designs that I'm cool with for right now. Like I'm not a crazy good designer. And I just rotate them. Like I make my life easy, right? So whenever I go in to create a new template, I just copy it and then I name it. So I already copied this one, test for Sunday. I was telling my team, don't use, okay? Um, so I made a copy of it, right? And all you need is one. All you need is one little slide here. Okay, we're gonna worry about the rest in a second. So let's go back. Oh, you're still creating my CSV file. Wonderful. Wonderful. Taking a long time. All right. They're making a liar out of me. Okay, so say that they created the CSV file. Oh, yay. Thank you. Okay, there we go. Wonderful. Thank you. All right, so post carousel one. Um, okay, so starting download, post carousel 2, starting download, and say I liked 1, 2, and 3, depending on which ones I liked the best. I didn't really think too much about them. Okay, so now we are going to go into here, and all I need is 2 pieces of text, right? I need that heading text that I use, and then I have a body text. So I'm going to make this whatever my typical body text is. Maybe it's like 53 font size, whatever. And heading text 71.6. This looks good. Okay, I'm going to give it a little space here. And what we're going to do is we are going to go to apps right here on the left side. And I'm going to search data. I put it here so that I wouldn't, because I always forget it. Data autofill app. Okay. Data autofill. Right there, data autofill, okay? And this is going to prompt you to upload your CSV. Woohoo! So post one carousel CSV. Okay, heading text. Now I got to link this to this and I got to link this to this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the font here and I am going to connect data. Woohoo! And then I'm going to choose heading text. Woohoo! Now these are connected. Same thing with this. 3 dots. Connect data. Oh, I did it the wrong way. Oop, I got a little hold of myself. Caption. Okay. Now that it's going to say, do you want to select all that you want? I want all of them. Okay. So generate 6 designs and it's going to make a copy and it's going to automatically put all of the posts into here. Okay. So obviously I just have a little bit of editing to do, right? Depending on how they came in here. boom, 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 boom. Maybe I want this to be a little bit smaller. Okay, same thing here. And then all you have to do is then go in and be like, all right, this sounds a little bit like me. I'm going to change how they say a little bit because we know ChatGPT isn't perfect and we want it to sound like our voice, right? But at the end of the day, could you get away with this? Probably. Um, I don't I definitely would love for you all to go through it. But I do think that this makes things a lot quicker for you, right? Because then you can just go through it really quickly and then you can have your post and you can even schedule all your posts through Canva. Canva has a scheduler through Instagram. So all of it can be done through here. Um, so yeah, that is how you can quickly recreate any email that you have and make it into any any templates. Any questions on how I did that here?
I think
Did
you
I?
just blow my mind.
Yes. That's what I wanted to do. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, so I've worked in the AI things for various things. I've worked in Canva a bunch, but and I haven't really worked with email much, but connecting them all, that sounds amazing.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I forget how I found that feature. I mean, I'm sure there's so many AI features that we just don't know about. I mean, how could you, right? How could you know them all? But yeah. And then what I love about this is obviously, look, we've been on this call for 44 minutes. I probably took the first 15 minutes to teach you guys stuff. I've been stopping to explain things. But really, if I was doing this without all of you with me, I mean, that would have taken me like 20, 25 minutes, you know? So, and here I have my Instagram's done for the week if I wanted it to be, and my email's done for the week if I wanted it to be, right? What I also like about marketing is like having the fluidity to like come up with content on the fly and create it on the fly. But I think in order for you to do that, to not be stressed, is to know that you already have everything set. So if you didn't come out with something, if you didn't do something last minute, it's fine. You don't have that pressure, you don't have that stress of having to come up with something, right? Now, also, I didn't do this, but I could say, okay, thank you. Now, please use my brand voice and tone to write a caption for post number one using emojis. We'll see how it does. Oh, I could also say like, here, actually, I'm going to redo that. Okay, I'm going to stop it. I'm going to paste it. I'm doing too much on my computer, so it's like wigging out on me. Because I also want to grow my list, right? So you could also say, get people to comment emails and download my email planning bundle so they can send consistent emails once they are growing their list, right? Okay, growing your list doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it can actually be the easiest way to boost sales. You don't need to master copywriting, design, or strategy to start seeing results. Sometimes B minus work is all you need to hit send and watch the orders roll in. Want to make email marketing easy and consistent? Comment emails below. That's fine. That works for me. You know, I could probably put in more of my own stuff, and I will, like when I go to schedule it. Um, but it's not something I'm going to sweat over. Again, we know consistency, frequency is the most important, right? So, easy peasy lemon squeezy. If you want, you guys can take this too. But it also depends on how you typically write your social media posts. Um, but of course, like instruct your assistant to help you. All right, we're gonna finish out. Okay, now you see how quick and easy this can be for you. Let me bring up the chat just in case you all have something else to say. Because I am monitoring the chat in case you have any questions or comments or concern. And all that's left is you deciding when are you going to do your marketing for the week. And I really try to tell my clients pick a day, pick a time every week that you can commit to doing this. Because what? It takes 21 days to build a habit. So that's all we need. We need you to do it for 21 days in a row, daytime, every week. Okay. And just also know that, like, I'm not even the best at this. It doesn't always happen on the same time, the same day. I just feel like if we do that, it'd probably be easier for us, right? Um, I always just make sure I do it at some point. So practice what I preach is what I'm trying to do with my life. Doesn't always work out that way. Okay, so wrap up. Learned how to make easy. Okay, so in the first training, you learned how to make easy emails, easy, manageable, making sure that you're in the right platform. That's so important. I think it's kind of the difference between whether emails feel manageable or not. um, Learning how to quickly write emails using the TPT method. And also, hopefully, I inspired you all to have, B minus work, to give yourself the grace and time to figure out what works with your people, right? Um, and also, just be you. You are going to be the most interesting thing that your people want to hear about. And your views and your tips and your industry knowledge. Use that to your advantage. That's what's really working in email marketing these days. Then you just saw me. You learned how to quickly repurpose an email into Instagram using ChatGPT. Okay. Now, this is for you guys if you're interested in my course that I have launching. I'm going to be launching it tomorrow. Okay. So you don't have to stay on with this because, this is the pitch at the end of the webinar. It doesn't break my heart. Um, but I wanted to give anybody who did follow along with the trainings the best discount for my email marketing launch lab. So I'm really excited to come out with it tomorrow. It's kind of step zero, and it's kind of the first really beginner's course that I've done, and that makes me really excited. So there may be some of you who want, now that you're sold on making emails a priority, there may be some of you who are like, all right, Angie, you told me kind of what I need to do, but I want step-by-step instructions on how to do everything we talked about. I want to know what platforms you recommend and why, and what platforms to stay away from. More templates and how to build an email strategy, to know how to design emails for clicks. I kind of went over a little bit of that today, right? If you were paying attention, I didn't give you guys all the details. Okay. You want to know how to set up sign up forms, what to put on them, like how to write copy on them that attracts people to fill them out, how to grow your list, how to start basic segmenting, and then, how to make progress and make small adjustments so that you're always driving sales. And I don't blame you. Emails are such a moneymaker. If you learn how to do it right the first time, you reap the rewards as you grow. There is no truer statement than that. And truly, I see. That's why I came out with my reel yesterday or 2 days ago that so many small businesses sending emails are missing key opportunities, or they're even not compliant, not really following the law, or not engaging their audience effectively. And I know that you would get so much better engagement if you just made a few tweaks, if you were just taught kind of the foundational parts of email marketing. What does get people to click? What does get people to pay attention and engage with your emails? Okay. And I haven't seen anyone else offering a course to help them. So that's why I made the email launchpad. Okay. So it's meant to be a 4-week sprint to set up an email marketing system that's easy, gets you dependable sales, and one that you can manage in just 1 hour a week or less using what we just did there, right? So not even just your emails in 1 hour a week or less, but all of your marketing. Okay. And in the past 2 years, ever since I've gone off on my own, I have helped dozens of small business owners prioritize their emails and set up a system that works for them and increase their sales almost immediately for some of them, which is the most exciting part for me. So, this again, this course is just me taking a lot of the consulting work that I've been doing in the past 2 years for people and just making it into an outright course that you can follow. And I would say it's probably even better than what I did as far as consulting because our consulting meetings are kind of driven by the client, so I don't always get to every little part of emails that work or every little part of the account. So that's why I made this course so that I can get to every little part and I have everything that I would teach you if you were my consulting client and we were working together for 6 months or a year, even. Um, and then here are some of the results of some of those people. I sent an email out using the new messaging because I also talk about copywriting and messaging, also very important with any sort of marketing, and have a discovery call booked for Monday. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. I sent an email last night. After days of nothing, I made 5 sales. This made me very happy and reinforced that action is the best plan. Also, a social post would have never had that outcome. Um, Okay. So just going deeper into the course, it is dripping out week by week. Week one is already up in the course, then I'll drip out week two, week three, week four, in the consecutive weeks. Okay. So week one really is all about understanding how email marketing works. So you see the bigger picture. I think that's really important too to kind of know what you're aiming for with emails and how it works. And then that can drive what you prioritize in your email marketing system. Of course, I go over like the language of email marketing, like the basics of our week one, right? Then I really go deep into choosing the right platform for your business. I walk through 4 options because I could be here all day and walk through dozens of account platforms, and I just can't do that. So I picked 2 for service providers and coaches that I would recommend, and 2 for e-commerce product-based businesses that I would recommend. Those are my top 2 for each of them. One of them is like a basics, like for people who don't feel like they're good for tech savvy stuff. One of them is a little bit more advanced if you don't mind a little bit of a challenge and want to reap the bigger benefits of a more robust platform. Okay. I also give step-by-step guidance on how to set up your email account from start to finish. This includes sender profiles, website connections, domain verification, basic integrations, all of the things that make you nervous. Okay, we just walk them through together, hopefully make them easy and digestible so that you can understand and you feel confident even if you're not tech savvy. That's the whole point of this. Week 2, of course, then we start focusing on growing the list. You learn how to build your list the right way. How do we get quality leads? Using tailored strategies to your business. Obviously, that includes creating good, irresistible lead magnets, which I also just call offers because lead magnets could also be a discount. It could also be 20% off, 10% off. That's a lead magnet too, okay? Um, then we set up the sign up forms. I tell you where to put your sign up forms, what's performing best in the industry, what is the delay that we have for pop-ups? How do we write the copy on those sign up forms? How do we design those sign up forms again for clicks? It all kind of works in the same way, okay? Marketing psychology is marketing psychology. Once you start getting down the basics of it and the principles of it, you can start to then tailor that not just into your email, but how you're designing your website, how you're designing your social media posts, how you're designing your blogs. Okay. So that's the cool thing about marketing. Anytime you're taking a course, whether that's in emails or social media, it'll all flood into your other marketing channels. And then we're going to start a little bit of basic segmenting to build a strong relationship with your subscribers. We're going to do that through the sign up forms. So we're going to make it super easy for you to start segmenting your audience and just learning the basics. And then as you grow and you get more comfortable, maybe then you start using those segments. Week 3, now this is all about once we have the setup of our account, once we have the setup of the sign up forms, now it's all about let's create our templates, creating our email templates that are designed for high clicks. So I'm going to teach you the design basics like creating attention, grabbing subject lines, Structuring your emails for maximum engagement, making them skimmable, the things that actually really get people to open an email and click. Of course, what comes with that also is every email needs to be functional and effective. Design must-haves include accessibility. Okay, we do have people reading your emails who have disabilities in their vision. They have readers reading your emails. How do we make sure that our emails are able to be read no matter what someone is going through or experiencing? Okay, that's also very important. Write emails that sell without being pushy. Of course, I'm going to dive into the art of storytelling, connecting with your audience, using copywriting techniques. You'll learn how to create emails that actually want to be open and read. Create emails in 10 minutes or less. You kind of just watch me that, but I do have bonus templates in the course so that you can just plug and play using copywriting techniques. And then we are also going to set up our first automation. So I am going to walk you through setting up that first welcome email to deliver your lead magnet, to deliver your offer, whatever it is that you're offering them, and sets the tone for a great subscriber experience. But that's all we're really going to do with automations and flows. Again, this is a beginner course. At the end of the day, it's just really important for you to get the foundations here. We can worry about more advanced stuff when you get more comfortable inside your account and sending emails. Okay. Week 4 then is all about your email strategy for growth. That's where I'm going to teach you, okay, how do we strategize the emails that we send? I kind of went over that a little bit today of how I was creating my emails for what I'm going to sell next. Okay. So I'm going to go deeper into that so that you can create a yearly calendar for you based on your key promotions, your seasonal campaigns. Okay. Then I'm also going to go over tracking your progress and refining your strategy. It's not going to be too in depth. We really only need to be watching a few metrics. And as long as you can just get used to noticing those metrics, seeing those metrics, and then making small adjustments from them, it's all it takes. I do it for 5 minutes each week inside of my clients' accounts. And sometimes those little tweaks are the difference between an extra grand that month or not. So totally worth it. And again, small amount of time. Okay. And I'll teach you how I do that. And then of course we're going to stay consistent and motivated because I want you to create a 1 hour a week plan. So we're going to go over doing that as well. So, 4 weeks of on-demand trainings. They are not live. I am pre-recording them. You can watch them at your own pace. I am going to be emailing you weekly for accountability check-ins, okay? I don't want you to feel pressure. If you are in the course and you're like, I didn't get anything done this week, please still fill out the accountability check-ins so that I can support you to get things done if you need to, so that we can really break it down and I can be like, okay, well, what do you need? What can you commit to next week? Whatever. I know what's really important is that actually doing the work, the action inside your email accounts creates revenue for your business. And that is what I want. Okay. Templates, checklists, guides, more ChatGPT prompts. Y'all know I'm going to bring it. And then I do have one live group coaching call that we're going to do in January. So hopefully that gives everyone enough time. It is November, December. It's going to be the second to last week in January. Hopefully by then you'll have done something inside of your account. You'll have some questions for me, and that is your opportunity to ask them. Plus 3 bonuses. Okay, super simple emails. This bonus took me hours to do. I was like, I can't believe I'm giving this away essentially for free. I'm going to sell it at some point. But they are 10 plug and play email templates using expert copywriting techniques. I have nurture templates in there. I have launching sales templates in there. I have urgency templates in there. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself. I think it's good. Then I'm giving everyone access to my Grow Your List Bootcamp. Yes, I'm doing another reiteration of it next year, but last year's is in the account and you can watch it, and it goes way deeper into creating lead magnets and growing your list. I'm going to do like a good overview, enough inside of the email launchpad, but the Grow Your List Bootcamp is like 3 hours of like in-depth training of that. I didn't want to make the content in Email Launchpad that long. And then 30 ways to make a sale today. Ways I make quick sales for my clients through emails. So, the actions, the small actions that I take that take me 10 minutes to boost revenue. Okay. So here's just some more testimonials of people who, when they start prioritizing their emails or even just making small tweaks, we do see fast results. Um, it seems our sales are up since starting email, and we haven't even hit 10% off email flows yet. I had another client who was just kind of telling me, oh, yeah, it wasn't our plan to send a sales email first. I'm always like, nurture first. But she did end up, but her publisher was pressuring her to get some sales for her book. And she ended up getting 50 sales from one email. Okay. But she had also been emailing her list before that. And we had like just got done kind of setting up her whole account. And yeah, that was a fruitful email. Our catalog requests tripled yesterday, and that wasn't a full day of having the fly out. This was my client who I just changed how they were getting people onto their email list. We just made some small tweaks with their pop-ups and their flyouts. And you see the small tweaks made a really good into then the number of people that were coming onto their list. Okay. Who is this for? Small business owners, flower farmers, product sellers, coaches, course creators who are new to email marketing, or anyone who feels overwhelmed by emails. You don't know where to start. You struggle with your tech. Anyone who needs a simple, time efficient way to connect with their audience and make sales. Those who care about authentic communication, building strong relationships with your audience. To me, that's emails are like a letter to my biggest fans to me. I love you all who are on my email list. I hope that you can feel that, okay? You guys are my number one priority because I see you as being the most interested in me and what I'm selling, and I do not take that lightly. So I want to take care of you, and I do that through my email platform, or at least I try to. If you've been emailing sporadically and barely have anything set up and don't really know what you're doing, it's not for anyone who can't commit to time because then you won't make your money back. Okay, that's what I want. If you bought your list of subscribers, no bueno. I cannot guarantee results. I don't know if those are quality leads, and they probably aren't. Let's be honest. If you aren't ready to focus on your emails, now may not be the time. If you're looking for advanced strategies with flow, segmentation, and evergreen funnels, I have a different program for you. This is not the one for you. What is the cost of the course? Well, the total investment that I will eventually sell it at is $499. Of course, I'm going to do a Black Friday sale all next week. You'll see me talking about this email launchpad. They're going to get it for $349. Anybody who's watching right now or who takes advantage in the next 12 hours will get an extra $50 off so that it is $299 or two payments of $149.50. But you do need to use the code ELP Founder. That'll take a total of $200 off the course. For reference, one strategy call with me is $250. This is a steal. This is the first time I'm coming out. Every time I do a beta round of a new course, I do like make it dirt cheap. I don't want you guys to feel that that devalues the course. I get nervous about that because I know that there's a lot of good stuff in there, but I want to make it accessible, especially for those people who are like, I'm in, okay? And I also give a VIP option. So if anybody is scared about the tech or they want some one-to-one time with me where we're working inside of your account together and you want to make sure everything's set up well, you want to ask me questions, I do have a VIP option where you can book a call with me. Okay. And we do a 60-minute call. Normally, again, those calls are $250. I'm just adding on another $200 for the VIP option. Again, another discount into a one-to-one call with me. So total altogether with the course and the VIP option is $488 or two payments of $244. Okay. And if we go back to what is your ROI, some people say it's $42 to every $1 for email marketing. That's the thing that's going around right now. I'm going to be a little bit conservative. Even if it was $36 every $1 of marketing, on average, you should make $10,000, $764 from my course. Okay. When that $10,000 comes in, that's why, is it going to be quick? Well, it depends on how quickly you implement what I teach you, right? That's what I always tell my clients. My big takeaway is that I just placed order at the top of my campaign's list view and I've made sales on all my past emails. WTF? How did I miss this? Okay, that was somebody that took one of my first courses that I ever came out with almost 2 years ago now. It was called Easy Emails. And I since kind of retired that and came out with a couple different courses. But this is like kind of part of what we did here is kind of I'm teaching some of it there. Um, cool. What next? You can click the link, read the sales page, and if you want, you can buy it. Um, it's totally up to you. It's all ready to go. I'll be launching it tomorrow. I'm really proud of it. It's here's the sales page. Makes me super happy. And yeah, but your guys' discount will only be available for the next 12 hours, and then I'll turn it off, and then we'll go with the 349 price. Okay, so you'll be able to get started the first week right away. I will drip out the rest within the next 4 weeks, and our group coaching call is Thursday, so you can submit a question beforehand. Thank you. There's my spiel. I'm done selling now. And happy to answer any questions. It is 5:08. Wow! Not too far over. So we can answer some questions. I told my husband 5:30. So he has the kids till 5:30. Any questions? It could be about the launch pad. It could be about what we went over today. It could be about anything else I went over in the training. It could be out about any challenges that you're facing in your emails right now. Let me know. Let me bring up. Anybody have questions? I mean, this is free time with me. Use my brain. No pressure. I'm gonna go off live because no, I don't want to share it. I think I'm getting sick. Okay. Any questions? No? Nobody was on? It's okay if you don't have any.
I think my brain is just full.
Of
It's one of
wonderful
those things where I'll
information.
probably get off the call and like like an hour later, like something will pop into my brain. Like, oh, I should have asked that.
That always happens to me. That's
That's what's on my
why I
brain right
really like group coaching calls the best because the questions that other people ask, I'm like, oh, that's a
now.
good
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
I do really well on those, but yeah, myself, I don't know what to ask always.
Yeah.
No, it's totally fine. I hope that it was all good information. Um, I hope at the end of the day it was inspiring. I always want to be inspiring to you all to take action inside of your email accounts. Like that's just my number one goal. No questions, but I'm excited to get started. Thank you so much for this. 100% yes, I'll have questions later. I just know it. Yeah, you guys can email me, you can DM me. Um,
I did end up sending that email that you gave the template in the first training
cool.
where like um like past customers from the company I was with, and I just emailed them permission, had them reply yes. And I didn't worry about like what time of day it was or what day of the week it was. I'm just like, it was like a Saturday night, and I'm like, oh, whatever, or Friday night, or even. I'm like, I don't care. Just get it out.
Yay.
Otherwise, I'll overthink it, and yeah, won't send it. So that was fun.
Good. Did you get replies?
Yes, but only like, what was it? Like 7 or 8 said
Yeah,
yes or something like that
cool.
out of like 900 people.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Are they in the United States?
Yeah.
You could still add them if you
Really?
wanted to.
Mm, maybe.
Yeah, it's called implied consent if they're in the United States, but
Mhm.
it really depends, like because you do want your list full of people who actually just want to be there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I'm like, I'm not sure if I'd want to just keep sending them emails or not.
Hmm.
Um, because I get the idea of like letting them unsubscribe themselves.
Hmm.
And yeah, yeah. And some of them, I don't know, did they initially buy from me or whatever because of just a recommendation from somebody else, or did they just find me on my website? I think that's just my overthinking too. It's like I don't want to bug them.
Yeah. Yeah. I totally hear that and understand that. And yeah, and if they didn't, you know, come onto your list, naturally, I would totally think the same thing. I think probably what I would do is I'd possibly bring them on the list, but I'd probably make a segment and put them in.
Yeah. What kind of
Um,
emails would be sent to those types of people that maybe they didn't see my first, like, hey, I'm
right,
doing this email list thing, or like
right.
maybe it went to spam, or
Yeah,
I
you'd
don't know.
want to have a strategy like just for them
Huh. Huh.
if you
Okay.
if you had the time, right? It really depends
Yeah,
on
that makes
the
sense.
time. But yeah, it could just be that they didn't see the email from you. And so you could start it with, hey, just popping in. I wanted to make sure you saw this email. I'm starting to, send advice and tips and things like that. Reply back if you're cool with being on the list. Um, or because they're in the United States, you could say, I have you on the list. I have you on a segment to just let you know when I'm coming out with new things. You can unsubscribe at any time. Here's
Hmm.
the unsubscribe button.
Okay.
Because they're past clients,
Yeah.
they're typically more willing to buy from you. So, and they're hotter leads.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Even
I
if the
wish.
product is different now.
Does your product still could they still use the product? Could it be helpful for them?
Oh, well, yeah.
So
Yeah.
then your job is to educate, inform them
Hmm.
about
Yeah.
that. So then then you would have a strategy, in
Hmm.
connecting. All right, you've used this product from me in the past. This is how this could be, you know, beneficial for you as well, or this how this can be built upon, or things like that.
Right.
Wanted to.
Okay.
Um,
Thanks.
there's no wrong answer.
Yeah. Yes, there is. There's always a
Everyone's so
right
black and
way.
white.
Oh yeah, I know it. I know it. But sometimes my brain is like, there's one way to do it, and you have to do it like this way.
I wish it was that easy.
I know, right? I think our lives would be a lot easier.
Yeah. If someone was just like, do it this way. That's
Yes.
what I've also found too in like my email courses. I try to be like, do what feels right for you and things like that. But people really want me to just kind of tell them exactly what to do.
Right, right.
So I'm like, okay, fine. I'll give you guys the templates. I'll give you all the stuff. And then hopefully you take it and you create your own thing from it.
Yeah.
Um, I should just trust that that happens.
Yeah.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you so much for being on here with me on a Sunday evening. I really appreciate it. It was really nice to finally meet you, Ivy. I really appreciate
Oh yeah, you
you
too.
following me on Instagram.
Yeah, I think I found you like a couple of years ago, and I was
Yeah.
like, oh, she's talking about email marketing, and I was just barely learning that was, you know, about it. Um, and your like follower account was like close to mine, so I was like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's like humble beginnings.
I still feel like I'm in the humble beginnings. I still have like 500 followers on Instagram.
And yeah, I haven't grown in a year, but I only really got on Instagram in it was during the pandemic when I was forced to like move things online, and 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 I lost my train of thought. That was really good. Oh yeah,
Okay.
I had opened an Instagram account like probably years ago, like over a decade ago, maybe like 20 years ago even, when like they were first started, and I never really used it. And so I just came back on it in 2020 and started to learn about it, and I had like 55 followers or something like that because I just opened it and never used it.
Right.
And so I grew to 250.
It's a
So
feat.
that's like 150% growth.
Yeah, that's really good.
Actually, it's more than 150%. I can't math on the spot.
Right. Neither can I.
Uh, anyways, but I haven't really been consistent in over a year. So getting back on the horse. I'm
Yes.
really good in stories. I can go on and talk in stories all day, but it's the reels and posts and stuff. So this will be cool to learn how to do the emails and turning those into posts or even reels or so that's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I need too. I'm the same with you, as you
Yeah.
see. I get on stories, that's easy, but like actually doing posts,
Yeah. I don't know why.
it's just it feels like a lot. But
It's
like
more
that,
steps.
yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the same thing with emails too. Like I feel like I get out a weekly email. I prioritize emails because I'm working in it and I see the effects of it.
Hmm.
If I was just another small business owner, I would view it just like I view my Instagram posts, where it's like, ugh,
Yeah.
you know,
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah,
because
I
it's
view
all a
view
lot.
email and Instagram posts like that. It's like
Yeah, just
it
do it
just
all at
seems like a
once.
lot,
Yeah,
but I'm
I
willing to
think
learn.
it's more in our head.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
There's a lot of stuff that goes on in my
yeah,
brain. So,
yeah. We will give ourselves every reason not to do something.
oh yeah, I'm really good at that. I have a list.
Same. So, yeah, I think it helps to be shown that it can be easy. But I think the first thing is we have to believe that it can be easy, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a thing. Oops.
It's a thing.
Hmm.
All right. I'm gonna log off. And I hope
Well, thank
everybody
you.
enjoys their evening.
Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thank you for joining me. I didn't know if anybody was gonna get on, so I really appreciate everybody who got
Yeah.
on. Okay.
Cool.
All right. Have a good week.
Bye.
Bye.